Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you. What? You wake up in the morning, start putting on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
Oh, with the injury to Kayvon Thibodeaux, it's time for Brian Burns and others to put on their big boy pants. This is Simmons, New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. I'm in rare form today. Just got back from the Knicks game. Oh, the Knicks. You know, the Knicks podcast comes out mañana, and that's New York Knicks Unleashed. And I'm very excited about it. I'm very proud about it. But, you know, there was just this energy. There was just this vibe. There was just this je ne sais quoi that was in the building last night. And I know it was just a preseason game. And I know it was against the Washington Wizards, but the New York Knicks looked solid. The big cat, you know, when you watch him on television, and it's something that you don't get to see all the nuances on to his game. And we were sitting right underneath the basket on the passenger side, right on the basket on the visitor side. So I mean, it was great to watch. I mean, we were screaming at one point in time because he played almost the entire third quarter. We're saying, Tibbs, get him the hell out of the game. You know, we have 82 of these. This one doesn't count. You don't get a half a game if you win a preseason game against the Wizards. All right, the news came out on Wednesday, revealing that Kayvon Thibodeaux had undergone wrist surgery, and Brian Daboll considered him to be week to week. It's interesting because he has the broken scapula or scapola. I don't know what the hell it's called. He's got a broken bone in his wrist. And if you look it up online and you become that one thing, you go to WebMD. You do that thing you always should never do when you think you have an issue or a problem or you're sick. You go to WebMD, and ad nauseum you sit there and type in all this information. They said the recovery time is typically between 4 to 6 weeks. They said the earliest they probably could come back is 2 weeks, but he would have to play with a cast. It was surgery. So he had a screw inserted into his wrist. So it's not just like something that, you know, he wasn't, you know, they cut him open. You know, if you want to be honest about it, that's what they did. So it's going to be interesting to see how long he's typically going to be out. I think depending on how the game goes versus the Bengals on Sunday at 8:20 is going to have more of an indication of when he's going to come back. He's definitely going to miss the Philadelphia game, so you got to figure that as well. I mean, if you win one of these two, then you got to think about bringing it back early, depending on how the defense plays. If you lose both of these two, then you got to think about, you know, maybe keeping them out for the full extended period of time, because you're always, you know, a career is about longevity. A career isn't about being a one season wonder where you get 11 and a half sacks. It's about longevity. It's about being there game in and game out. It's about playing an 8-9 year career, because you did take this guy fifth with the fifth pick a couple years back. So, you know, it's just one of those things. You have to look at it from a total career perspective, not just, you know, a week to week perspective in a season where you don't even really know what this team is yet. You could sit there and you could tell me this team is going to be this. You tell me this team is not this, but you don't know what this team is yet. Daniel Jones has teased fans before with 2-3 good games in a row, then reverted back to himself over. And I love it because people are like, well, you can't say that because, you know, there's really not, there's not really a sample size. It's 6 seasons, 6 years. Yeah, I can say that. I can say that 100%. And I love it, the people that posted that Daniel Jones would have better stats if he wasn't tied for second in the league for most drop passes. Number 1 in the league is Deshaun Watson. And I think about this, and I kind of go, you got to kind of scratch your head, because I think some people don't understand and don't realize that a lot of times in reference to drops, it has a lot to do with ball placement. So you have to think to yourself, is the quarterback, it's not just Daniel Jones, it's anyone, throwing his wide receivers into contact? Could that potentially be the case? We've talked about it a million times before. Like I just said, ball placement. It's always about ball placement. Ball placement in this league is beyond important. because you lead your receivers into contact, you lead your receivers into injury. I'm not looking at you, Malik Neighbors. What's going to go on with the Bengals? That's going to be the big question. And honestly, I don't have an answer yet. The Bengals are this weird team. And it's I mean, you should be able to run against them, but they can just light shit up. And I love it because I saw someone on Twitter, and like I said, I just laughed. Someone wrote on Twitter that Dale Jones is better than Joe Burrows. Didn't Joe Burrows go to a Super Bowl? I'm just throwing it out there for people that don't remember that. Didn't he throw for 4,000 yards 2 years in a row and have 30-plus touchdowns in those years? You want to talk about someone that's never really had an offensive line in his career? That's Joe Burrows. You feel bad for the guy. He's already thrown for 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, completing 72% of his passes. We've said this before. The game is not played inside the 20s. Drive for show, you putt for dough. Can the Giant defense, without a Brian Burns pass rush, come up like 7-up? Can the secondary hold up? These are always going to be big questions. And I think we may have to answer those questions on a live stream. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Again, don't forget, New York Knicks Unleashed drops tomorrow, the pod. It'll be right here on this channel as well. And we got a lot of other surprises coming up, so make sure you also stay tuned for Sunday Giant at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell and join the way. That'd be awesome.